Ready, set, go.
Oh, I should make my bed. Hang on. Oh no. It's so much more visible with the new camera angle. Is this the content you want? Is this what you wanted?
Yes.
Yes, bed
100%
making.
what we wanted.
A white cis man.
Is everyone happy now? I can't hear you, so I don't know what you're saying.
Oh, well.
I'm even more happy now that you can't hear me.
Wow.
I'll swap over to the part 2 thumbnail.
Woohoo!
Welcome to part 2 of the Tall Lanky Audio Theater live reading of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. We are starting at Fit the Third. Enjoy. Far back in the mists of ancient time, in the great and glorious days of the former galactic empire, life was wild, rich, and on the whole tax-free. Mighty starships plied their way through exotic suns, seeking adventure and reward amongst the furthest reaches of galactic space. In those days, spirits were brave, the stakes were high, men were real men, women were real women, and small furry creatures from Alpha Centauri were real small furry creatures from Alpha Centauri. And all dared to brave unknown terrors, to do mighty deeds, to boldly split infinitives that no man had split before, and thus was the empire forged. Many men, of course, became extremely rich, but this was perfectly natural and nothing to be ashamed of, because no one was really poor, at least no one worth speaking of. And for these extremely rich merchants, life eventually became rather dull, and it seemed that none of the worlds they settled on was entirely satisfactory. Either the climate wasn't quite right in the later part of the afternoon, or the day was half an hour too long, or the sea was just the wrong shade of pink, and thus were created the conditions for a staggering new form of industry. Custom-made luxury planet building. The home of this industry was the planet Magrathea, where vast hyperspatial engineering works were constructed to suck matter through white holes in space and form it into dream planets, lovingly made to meet the exacting standards of the galaxy's richest men. And so successful was this venture that very soon Magrathea itself became the richest planet of all time, and the rest of the galaxy was reduced to abject poverty. And so the system broke down. The empire collapsed, and a long, sullen silence settled over the galaxy, disturbed only by the pen-scratchings of scholars as they labored into the night over smug little treatises on the value of a planned political economy. Magrathea itself disappeared, and its memory soon passed into the obscurity of legend. In these enlightened days, of course, no one believes a word of it. Meanwhile, on Zaphod Beeblebrox's ship, deep in the darkness of the Horsehead Nebula, we return to the Starship Bridge background.
I'm sorry, I just don't believe a word of it.
Listen to me, Ford. I found it. I swear I found it.
Look, Magrathea is a myth, a fairy story. It's what parents tell their kids about at night if they want them to grow up to become economists.
And we are currently in orbit around it.
Zaphod, I can't help what you may personally be in orbit around, but this ship...
Computer!
Oh no.
Hi there, this is Eddie, your shipboard computer, and I'm feeling just great, guys. Now, I know I'm going to get a bundle of kicks at any program you care to run through me.
Is this necessary?
Computer, tell us again what our current trajectory is.
Real pleasure, fella. We're currently in orbit at the altitude of 300 miles around the legendary planet Megratea. Golly.
Proving nothing. I wouldn't trust that computer to speak my weight.
I can do that for you, sure.
No, thank you.
I can even work out your personality problems to 10 decimal places if it helps. Zaphod, we should have dawn coming up any minute now on the planet, whatever that turns out to be.
Okay. Let's just take a look at. Let's just take a look at it. Computer,
Hi there, what can I?
just shut up, and just give us external vision on the monitors. Dim the lights on the bridge.
There's some electronic switching, and there's quietly a fade up of a bit of music, particularly Pink Floyd, Ligeti, or whatever.
There, the dark mass you see on the screens now. It's the planet of Margrathea.
Magrathea.
Magrathea. Sorry.
Or whatever.
I wonder if Columbus had this trouble.
Who?
Sorry, just an esoteric Earth reference. He discovered a continent which went on to cause a bit of trouble. Arthur will tell you about it. Arthur?
What?
You've been very quiet, Arthur.
Yes, I always find it very relaxing listening to other people arguing when I haven't a clue what they're talking about. The view's a bit dull, isn't it? Presumably it becomes absolutely enchanting later on.
We are now traversing the night side. The surface of the planet is 300 miles below us. In a moment, we could see. There!
And this point should coincide with some sort of crescendo in the music.
The fires of dawn, the twin sons of Solaris and Rum.
Or whatever.
Solaris and Rum, two ancient furnaces of light creeping over the black horizon. It is fantastic. You've got to admit that.
It looks fantastic.
Trisha, I feel I may be missing the point of something.
Well, according to what Zaphod's told me, Magrathea is a legendary planet from way back, which no one seriously believes in. Bit like Atlantis, except that the legends say the Magratheans used to manufacture planets.
Is there any tea on this spaceship? Arthur Dent had basically assumed that he was the only native ape-descended Earthman to escape from the planet Earth when it was unexpectedly demolished to make way for a new hyperspace bypass, because his only companion, disconcertingly called Ford Prefect, had already revealed himself to be from a small planet somewhere in the vicinity of Betelgeuse and not from Guildford after all. So when, against all conceivable probability, they were suddenly rescued from certain death in deep space by a stolen starship manned by two people, one of whom is Ford's semi-brother, the infamous Zaphod Beeblebrox, and the other of whom is Trisha McMillan, a rather nicely descended ape person that Arthur once met at a party in Islington, it could only be because the ship was powered by the new infinite improbability drive, which of course it was. Slowly, majestically, this mighty starship begins its long descent towards the surface of the ancient planet, which might or might not be Magrathea.
Well, even supposing it is.
It is!
Which it isn't. What do you want with it anyway? I mean, I take it you're not here for the sheer industrial archaeology of it all. What is it you're after?
Well, it's partly the curiosity, partly the sense of adventure, but mostly, I think that it's fame and money.
It's just a dead planet.
The suspense is killing me.
Stress and nervous tension are now serious social problems in all parts of the galaxy, and it is in order that this situation should not be exacerbated in any way at all that the following facts will now be revealed in advance. The planet in question is, in fact, Magrathea. The deadly nuclear missile attack shortly to be not launched by an ancient
automatic defense system will merely result in the bruising of somebody's upper arm and the untimely creation and sudden demise of a bowl of petunias and an innocent sperm whale. In order that some sense of mystery should still be preserved, no revelation will yet be made concerning whose upper arm had been bruised. This fact may safely be made the subject of suspense, since it is of no significance whatsoever. Arthur's next question about the planet is very complex and difficult, and Safar's answer is wrong in every important respect.
Is it safe?
Magrathea has been dead for 5 million years. Of course it's safe. Even the ghosts will have settled down and raised families by now.
Greetings to you.
What's that?
Computer!
Hi there.
What is this?
Oh, just some 5 million-year-old tape recordings being broadcast at us. This is a recorded announcement, as I'm afraid we're all out at the moment. The Commercial Council of Magrathea thanks you for your esteemed visit.
Voice from ancient Magrathea.
Okay. Okay.
But regrets that the entire planet is temporarily closed for business. Thank you. If you would like to leave your name and a planet where you can be contacted, kindly speak when you hear the tone.
There's
They want to get rid of us. What do we do?
It's just a recording. Keep going. Got that, computer?
Got it.
and there's a rocket thrust.
We would like to assure you that as soon as our business is resumed, announcements will be made in all fashionable magazines and color supplements, when our clients will once again be able to select from all that's best in contemporary geology. Meanwhile, we thank our clients for their kind interest and would ask them to leave now.
Well, I suppose we'd better be going then, hadn't we?
There's absolutely nothing to be worried about.
Then why is everyone so tense?
Oh, they're just interested. We keep going.
The sound of descent continues. Actually, I suppose I'd better say something about this. The descent noise should really be one of those continuously descending sound bands, which never really gets anywhere because whilst tones are imperceptibly dropping out at the bottom, so new ones are coming in imperceptibly at the top. And there's less fanfare now.
It is most gratifying that your enthusiasm for our planet continues unabated, and so we would like to assure you that the guided missiles currently converging with your ship are part of a special service we extend to all of our most enthusiastic clients, and the fully armed nuclear warheads are, of course, merely a courtesy detail. We look forward to your custom in future lives. Thank you.
Listen, if that's their sales pitch, what must it be like in the complaints department?
Hey, this is terrific. It means we really must be onto something if they're trying to kill us.
Terrific.
You mean there is someone down there after all?
No. The whole defense system must be automatic. But the question is, why?
But what are we going to do?
Just keep cool.
Is that all?
No. We're gonna take evasive action. Computer, what evasive action can we take?
None, I'm afraid, guys.
Or something.
There seems to be something jamming my guidance systems. Impact minus 30 seconds.
There's some alarm bells and sirens going off. Exactly.
Sorry, didn't mean to do that. Please call me Eddie if it'll help you relax.
Right. Look, we gotta get manual control of the ship.
Can you fly her?
No, can you?
No.
Ford?
No.
Fine, we'll do it together.
I can't either.
I guess that. Computer, I want full manual control, now!
You got it. Good luck, guys. Impact minus 20 seconds.
Okay. Ford, full retro thrust and 10 degrees starboard.
There is a howling screech of protesting rocket engines. This section should be as violently noisy as possible.
We're veering too fast.
I can't hold her. She's going into a spin.
Dive! Dive!
There are sounds of equipment and bits and pieces flung around the cabin. Nice.
It is, of
Ding,
course,
ding.
it is, of course, more or less at this point that one of our heroes sustains a slight bruise to the upper arm. This should be emphasized because, as has already been revealed, they escape, otherwise completely unharmed, and the deadly nuclear missiles do not eventually hit the ship. Our hero's safety is absolutely assured.
Impact minus 15 seconds, guys.
The rockets are still homing in. You can't shake them. We're going to die.
He starts to sing You'll Never Walk Alone in his very metallic voice.
Shut that bloody computer up!
Zaphod, can we stabilize at X00547 by splitting our flight path and tangentially across the summit vector of 9GX78 with a 5-degree inertial correction?
Yes, I expect so. Just do it. Oh, God, forgive us if you're only bluffing.
Here we go.
There's even more noise from the engines.
Hey, where did you learn a stunt like that, Trillian?
Going round Hyde Park Corner on a moped.
Oh, what?
It's another Earth reference.
Okay, tell me later.
It's no good. The missiles are swinging round after us and gaining fast. We are quite definitely going to die.
Impact minus 5 seconds.
Why doesn't anyone turn on this improbability drive thing?
Don't be silly, you can't do that.
Why not? There's nothing to lose at this stage.
Does anyone know why Arthur can't turn on the improbability drive? Impact minus 1 second. It's been great knowing you guys. God bless. I said, does anyone know?
There's a tremendous explosion, which fairly quickly transforms itself into a little dribble of fairly light film music and dies away.
The hell happened?
Well, as I was just saying, there's this switch here, you see, and...
Where's Trillian? Or where are we, Trillian?
Exactly where we were, I think.
What happened to the missiles?
Well, according to this screen, they've just turned into a bowl of petunias and a very surprised-looking whale.
At an improbability factor of 8,767,128 to 1 against.
Did you think of that, Earthman?
Well, all I did was...
Oh, hey, that's a very good thinking. You know that? You just saved our lives.
No, it was nothing, really.
Oh, was it? Well, okay, forget it. All right, computer, take us to land.
Well, I say it was nothing. I mean, obviously it was something. I was just trying to say it's not worth making too much of a fuss about, I mean, just saving everybody's life.
Another thing that no one made too much fuss about was the fact that against all probability, a sperm whale had suddenly been called into existence some miles above the surface of an alien planet. And since this is not a naturally tenable position for a whale, this innocent creature had very little time to come to terms with its identity as a whale before it had to come to terms with suddenly not being a whale anymore. This is what it thought as it fell.
And we hear a pop as of whale suddenly coming into existence some miles above the surface of an alien planet, and we hear increasing wind.
What's happening? Excuse me. Who am I? Hello? Why am I here? What is my purpose in life? What do I mean? Who am I? Calm down. Get a grip now. Oh, this is an interesting sensation. What is it? It's a sort of yawning, tingling sensation in my... well, I suppose I'd better start finding names for the things that I want if I want to make any headway in what is, for the sake of what I shall call an argument, I shall say the world. So let's call it my stomach. Ooh. So, a yawning, tingling sensation in my stomach. Good. Ooh. It's getting quite strong. And hey, what about this whistling, roaring sound going past what I am suddenly going to call my head? Head. That sounds good. Yeah. Yeah, a good solid ring to it. The whistling, roaring sounds. That could be wind. Is that a good name? Ah, it'll do. Perhaps I can find a better name for it later when I've found out what it is for. 'Cause there certainly seems to be a hell of a lot of it. Hey, what's this thing? This, let's call it a tail. Yeah, tail. Hey, I can really thrash around pretty good, can't I? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Hey, doesn't seem to achieve much. But I'll probably find out what it's for later on. Now, I have built up have I built up any coherent picture of things yet? No. Oh, hey, this is really exciting. So much to find out about and so much to look forward to. I'm quite dizzy with anticipation, or is it the wind? Hey, there really is a lot of that now, isn't there? And wow, what is this thing suddenly coming towards me really fast? Very, very fast. Oh, so big and flat and wide, and it seems nice. It seems to be a big, wide sounding word like round. Round? Ground. That's it. Ground. I wonder if it will be friends with me.
There is a sound of the sperm whale hitting the ground at several hundred miles per hour.
Rip.
Curiously enough, the only thing that went through the mind of the bowl of petunias as it fell was, oh no, not again. Many people have speculated that if we knew exactly why the bowl of petunias had thought that, we would know a lot more about the nature of the universe than we do now. Meanwhile, the starship has landed on the surface of Magrathea, and Trillian is about to make one of the most important statements of her life. Its importance is not immediately recognized by her companions.
Hey, my white mice have escaped.
Nuts to your white mice.
It is possible that Trillian's observation would have commanded greater attention had it been generally realized that human beings were only the third most intelligent life forms on the planet Earth, instead of, as was generally thought by most independent observers, the second.
All right. Run atmospheric checks on this planet.
There is a flurry of very fast computer voices ringing around the ship in wonderful stereo, reeling off mostly lists of incomprehensible numbers. A few recognizable words like atmospheric composition, oxygen, nitrogen, carbon dioxide, atmospheric pressure, gravitational anomalies, etc.
Are we taking this robot?
Don't feel that you have to take any notice of me, please. Oh, Marvin. Yeah, the paranoid android? Yeah, we'll take him.
What are you supposed to do with a manically depressed robot?
You think I've got problems? Well, what are you supposed to do if you are a manically depressed robot? No, don't try to answer that. I'm 50,000 times more intelligent than you, and don't even know the answer. It gives me a headache just trying to think down on your level.
All of the computer voices suddenly stop altogether.
Well, what's the result?
It's okay, but it smells a bit.
Oh, okay, everybody, let's go.
Good afternoon, boys.
What's that?
Oh, that's the computer. I discovered it had an emergency backup personality, which I thought might be marginally preferable.
Now, this is going to be your first day on a strange planet, so I want you all wrapped up, snug and warm, and no playing with any naughty bug-eyed monsters.
Sorry, I think we'd be better off with the slide rule.
Right, who said that?
Will you open up the exit hatch, please? Computer?
Not until whoever said that owns up.
Oh God.
Come on.
Computer?
I'm waiting. I can wait all day if necessary.
Computer, if you don't open that exit hatch this moment, I shall go straight to your major data banks with a very large axe and give you a reprogramming that you will never forget. Is that clear?
I can see this relationship is something we're all going to have to work at.
The exit hatch opens, and you hear the faint sound of wind.
Thank you. Let's go.
They exit.
It'll all end in tears. I know it.
The hatch closes, leaving total silence except for wind. You hear Pink Floyd's Shine On You Crazy Diamond intro from the album Wish You Were Here. It's fantastic!
Desolate hole, if you ask me.
It's bloody cold. It all looks so stark and dreary.
I think it's absolutely fantastic. It's only just getting through to me. A whole alien world. Millions of light years from home. Pity it's such a dump, though. Where's Sephard?
Hey, just beyond this ridge, you can see the remains of an ancient city.
What does it look like?
Bit of a dump. Come on over. And watch out for all the bits of whale meat.
They are all walking up and their voices fade with the music. Do you realize that robot can hum like Pink Floyd? What else can you do, Marvin?
Rock and roll.
As they fade into the distance, the Pink Floyd music changes abruptly into rock and roll music by the Fab Four, which with just a slight electronic distort and echo to make it clear that the robot is in fact singing it.
I wish I knew where my mice were.
Okay, I found a way in.
In? In what?
Down to the interior of the planet. That's where we have to go. There, where no man has trod these 5 million years, into the very depths of time itself.
We hear the theme music from 2001, also Sprach Zarathustra, has been building up under this and now reaches a climax.
Can it, Marvin?
The 2001 theme stops abruptly. Why underground?
Well, according to the legends of the Magrathians, lived most of their lives underground.
Why? Did the surface become too polluted or overpopulated?
No, I think they just didn't like it very much.
Zafid, are you sure you know what you're doing? We've been attacked once already, you know.
Look, I promise you, the live population of this planet is nil, plus the 4 of us.
And 2 white mice.
And 2 white mice if you're being insistent.
Come on. Let's go if we're going.
Sorry, excuse me. Hey, Earthman.
Arthur.
Hey, Earthman.
Arthur.
Could you sort of keep the robot with you and guard this end of the passageway? Okay?
Guard? What from? You just said there's no one here.
Well, like, just for everybody's safety, okay?
Whose? Yours or mine?
Good lad. All right, here we go.
And they set off again. The sound picture stays with them so that Arthur's line and Marvin's line sound slightly further away this time. Well, I hope you all have a really miserable time.
Don't worry. They will.
There's a drop wind sound as they enter the tunnel. Slightly eerie but tinkly music in background. Heavy subway echo.
Oh, this is really spooky.
Any idea what these strange symbols on the wall are, Zaphod?
I think they're probably just strange symbols of some kind.
Look at all these galleries of derelict equipment just lying around. Does anyone know what happened to this place in the end? Why did the Magrathians die out?
Something to do, I suppose?
I wish I had two heads like yours, Zaphod. I could have hours of fun banging them against a wall.
Shine the torch over here.
Where? Here?
Well, we aren't the first beings to go down this corridor in 5 million years, then.
What do you mean?
Look, fresh mouse droppings.
Oh, you're bloody mice.
What's that light down the corridor?
It's just the torch reflection.
This stuff must be worth millions, you know? Even if we don't find any actual money.
It'll be there. Trust me.
Trust you. Zaphod, my old mate. I trust you for about as far as I could comfortably take your appendix out.
There's definitely something happening down there.
No.
Listen!
There is a sudden electronic zap. Cries from Zaphod, Ford, and Trillian. Their bodies slump. Unidentifiable sounds of movement around them fade out and fade upwind.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy is a very unevenly edited book and contains many passages which simply seem to its readers like a good idea at the time. One of these supposedly relates the experiences of one Vít Vujagig, a quiet young student at the University of Maximegalon who pursued a brilliant academic career studying ancient philology, transformational ethics, and the wave harmonic theory of historical perception, and then, after a night of drinking pan-galactic gargle blasters with Zaphod Beeblebrox, became increasingly obsessed with the problem of what had happened to all the bureaus he'd bought over the past few years. There followed a long period of painstaking research, during which he visited all the major centers of bureau loss throughout the galaxy and eventually came up with a rather quaint little theory which quite caught the public imagination at the time. Somewhere in the cosmos, he said, along with all the planets inhabited by humanoids, reptiloids, fishoids, walking treoids, and super-intelligent shades of the color blue, there was also a planet entirely given over to bureau life forms. And it was to this planet that unattended bureaus would make their way, slipping quietly through wormholes in space, to a world where they knew they could enjoy a uniquely pyroid lifestyle, responding to highly bureau-oriented stimuli, in fact leading the bureau equivalent of the good life. And as theories go, this was all very fine and pleasant until Vít Vujagig suddenly claimed to have found this planet and to have worked there for a while, driving a limousine for a family of cheap green retractables, whereupon he was taken away, locked up, wrote a book, and was finally sent into tax exile, which is the usual fate reserved for those who are determined to make a fool of themselves in public. When one day an expedition was sent to the spatial coordinates that Vujagig had claimed for this planet, they discovered only a small asteroid inhabited by a solitary old man who claimed repeatedly that nothing was true, though he was later discovered to be lying. There did, however, remain the question of both the mysterious 60,000 Altarian dollars paid yearly into his Brantisvogen bank account, and of course, Zaphod Beeblebrox's highly profitable second-hand bureau business. Meanwhile, on the surface of Magrathea, 2 suns have just set.
Night's falling. Look, robot, the stars are coming out.
I know. Wretched, isn't it?
But that's sunset. I've never seen anything like it in my wildest dreams. The 2 suns. It was like mountains of fire boiling into space.
I've seen it. It's rubbish.
We only have the 1 sun at home. I came from a planet called Earth, you know.
I know. You keep going on about it. It sounds awful.
Ah, no, it was a beautiful place.
Did it have oceans?
Oh, yes, great, wide, rolling blue oceans.
Can't bear oceans.
Ah. Tell me, do you get on well with other robots?
Hate them. Where are you going?
I think I'll just take a short walk.
Don't blame you.
Good evening.
Ah! Whew! The next speaker is a man called Slaughterbarfest. He is getting on for elderly and speaks quietly, not unkindly. He is not quite as vague as he pretends.
You chose a cold night to visit our dead planet.
Who are you?
My name is not important.
You startled me.
Not be alarmed. I will not harm you.
But you shot at us. There were missiles.
Merely an automatic system. Ancient computers ranged in the long caves deeps in the bowels of the planet tick away the dark millennia. And the ages hang heavy on their dusty databanks. I think they take the occasional potshot to relieve monotony. I'm a great fan of science, you know.
Really?
Oh, yes. You seem ill at ease.
Yes. No disrespect, but I gathered you were all dead.
Dead? No, but we have slept.
Slept?
Yes, through the economic recession, you see.
What?
Well, 5 million years ago, when the galactic economy collapsed, and seeing that custom-built planets were something of a luxury accommodity, you see. You see, you know we built planets, do you?
Well, yes, I'd sort of gathered.
Fascinating trade. Doing the coastlines were always my favorite. Used to have endless fun doing all the little fiddly bits of the fjords. So, anyway, the recession came and we decided to sleep through it. We just programmed the computers to revive us when it was all over. They were indexed, linked to the galactic stock market prices, you see, so that we'd be revived when everyone else had rebuilt the economy enough to be able to afford our rather expensive services again.
Good God. That's a pretty unpleasant way to behave, isn't it?
I'm sorry. I'm a bit out of touch. Is this robot yours? No, I'm mine.
If you call it a robot, it's more of a sort of electronic sulking machine.
Bring it.
What?
You must come with me. Great things are afoot. You must now come now, or you will be late.
Late? What for?
What is your name, human?
Dent. Arthur Dent.
Late, as it is late, Dentarherthen? It's sort of a threat, you see. Never been good at them myself, but I'm told that they can be terribly effective.
All right. Where do we go?
To my air car. We are going deep into the bowels of the planet, where even now our race is being revived from its 5 million-year slumber. Margrathea awakes.
We hear the air car shoot forward. Oh, by the way, we've also had the sound of them getting into it during the preceding speech. Excuse me, what is your name, by the way?
My name is Slaughterbarfest.
I beg your pardon?
Slaughterbarfest.
Slaughterbarfest.
I said it wasn't important.
It is an important and popular fact that things are not always what they seem. For instance, on the planet Earth, man had always assumed that he was more intelligent than dolphins because he had achieved so much. The wheel, New York, wars, and so on. Whilst all the dolphins had ever done was muck about in the water, having a good time. But conversely, the dolphins believed themselves to be more intelligent than man for precisely the same reasons. Curiously enough, the dolphins had long known of the impending demolition of Earth and had made many attempts to alert mankind to the danger. But most of their communications were misinterpreted as amusing attempts to punch footballs or whistle for titbits, so they eventually gave up and left the Earth by their own means shortly before the Vogons arrived. The last ever dolphin message was misinterpreted as a surprisingly sophisticated attempt to do a double backward somersault through a hoop whilst whistling the Star-Spangled Banner. But, in fact, the message was this: so long, and thanks for all the fish. In fact, there was only one species on the planet more intelligent than dolphins, and they spent a lot of their time in behavioral research laboratories, running round inside wheels, and conducting frighteningly elegant and subtle experiments on man. The fact that man once again completely misinterpreted this relationship was entirely according to these creatures' plans. Arthur Dent's current favorite fact is that life is full of surprises.
We hear the Kyrie from Ligeti's Requiem quietly at first, as well as the hum of the air car in flight through underground passages, and it slows down.
Man, we are now deep in the heart of Magrathea. I should warn you that the chamber we are going to pass through does not literally exist within our planet. It is simply a gateway into a vast tract of hyperspace. It may disturb you.
Oh.
It scares the willies out of me. Hold on tight.
There's the acceleration of the air car and the hatchway opening. There's a sharp increase in music volume as if the sound is coming from inside the chamber, and the car shoots into an unimaginably vast cavernous space.
Welcome to our factory floor.
Ah, the light!
This is where we make most of our planets, you see.
Does this mean you're starting it up all again now?
Oh, no. For heaven's sake, the galaxy isn't nearly rich enough to support us yet. No, we've been awakened to perform just one extraordinary commission. It may interest you. They're in the distance in front of us.
Oh, no.
You see?
The Earth?
Well, the Earth Mark II, in fact. It seems that the first one was demolished 5 minutes too early, and the most vital experiment was destroyed. There had been terrible hoo-ha, and now we're going to make a copy of it from our original blueprints.
Are you saying that you originally made the Earth?
Oh, yes. Do you ever go to a place, I think it's called Norway?
What? No, I didn't.
Oh, pity, it was one of mine. Won an award, you know. Lovely, crinkly edges.
I can't take this. Did I hear you say the Earth was destroyed 5 minutes too early?
Shocking, cock-up. The mice were furious.
Mice?
Yes, the whole thing was their experiment, you see. A 10 million research program to find the ultimate question. Big job, you know.
Look, would it save you all this bother if I just gave up and went mad now?
Has Slaughterbarfest flipped his lid? Are Ford, Zaphod, and Trillian dying in fearful agony? Or have they simply slipped out for a quick meal somewhere? Will Arthur Dent feel better with a good hot drink inside him? Find out in next week's exciting installment of the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
I'm sorry, but I'd probably be able to cope better if I hadn't bruised my arm. Zaphod Beeblebrox is now appearing in No Sex Please, were amoeboid Zingat Eularians at the Brantas Vogon Star House. Okay.
That is chapter 3.
That is. It's time for Bit the Fourth. It has been revealed to Arthur that the Earth has been built by the Magratheans and run by mice. Meanwhile, his companions have been suddenly confronted by something nasty, probably certain death.
Arthur Dent, a perfectly ordinary Earthman, was rather surprised when his friend Ford Prefect suddenly revealed to himself to be from a small planet somewhere in the vicinity of Betelgeuse and not from Guildford after all. He was even more surprised when a few minutes later the Earth was unexpectedly demolished to make way for a new hyperspace bypass. But this was as nothing to their joint surprise when they are rescued from certain death by a stolen spaceship manned by Ford's semi-cousin, the infamous Zaphod Beeblebrox, and Trillian, a rather nice astrophysicist Arthur once met at a party in Islington. However, all four of them are soon totally overwhelmed with surprise when they discover that the ancient world of Magrathea, a planet famed in legend for its surprising trade in manufacturing other planets, is not as dead as it was supposed to be. For Zaphod, Ford, and Trillian, surprise is pushed to its very limits when this happens. There is an electric zap, and you hear the cries from episode 3. And when Arthur Dent encounters Slaughterbarfest, the Magrathean coastline designer who won an award for his work on Norway, and learns the whole history of mankind was run for the benefit of a few white mice anyway, surprise is no longer adequate, and he is forced to resort to astonishment.
Mice? What do you mean, mice? I think we must be talking at cross purposes. Mice to me mean the little white furry things with the cheese fixation and women standing screaming on tables in early 60s sitcoms.
Ma'am, it is sometimes hard to follow your mode of speech. Remember, I have been asleep inside the planet of Magrathea for 5 million years, and I know very little of these early 60s sitcoms of which you speak. These creatures you call mice. Oh, you see, they're not as quite as they appear. They are merely the protrusions into our dimension of vast hyper-intelligent pan-dimensional beings. The whole business with the cheese and the squeaking is just a front.
A front?
Oh yes, you see the mice are set up this whole Earth business as an epic experiment on behavioral psychology. A 10 million year program.
No, look. You've got it the wrong way around. It was us. We used to do the experiments on them.
A 10 million year old program in which your planet Earth and its people formed the matrix of an organic computer. I gather for that the mice did arrange for your humans to conduct some primitively staged experiments on them and just check to see how much you really learned. Give you the odd prod in the right direction, you know, that sort of thing. Suddenly, running down a maze the wrong way, eating the wrong bit of cheese, or unexpectedly dropping dead of asphyxiation. Or might... Oh god, what is that word?
Myxomatosis.
Myxomatosis.
Attention, please. Slaughterbarfest. Would Slaughterbarfest and the visiting Earth creature please report immediately to the works reception area? Thank you.
However, in the field of management relations, they're absolutely shocking.
Really?
Well, yes. Well, you see, every time they'd give me an order, I just wanted to jump on a table and scream.
I can see that would be a problem.
There are, of course, many problems connected with life, of which some of the most popular are: why are people born, why do they die, and why do they want to spend so much of the intervening time wearing digital watches? Many millions of years ago, a race of hyper-intelligent pan-dimensional beings got so fed up with all the constant bickering about the meaning of life, which used to interrupt their favorite pastime of Brockian ultra cricket, a curious game which involved suddenly hitting people for no readily apparent reason and running away, that they decided to sit down and solve the problem once and for all. And to this end, they built themselves a stupendous supercomputer, which was so amazingly intelligent that even before its data banks had been connected up, it had started from first principles with "I think therefore I am," and had got as far as deducing the existence of rice pudding and income tax before anyone managed to turn it off. Could a mere computer solve the problem of life, the universe, and everything? Fortunately for posterity, there exists a tape recording of what transpired when the computer was given this particularly monumental task. Arthur Dent stops off in Slaughterbarfest's study to hear it. We hear a couple of mechanical tape switching noises and a couple of blips.
What is the great task for which I, Deep Thought, the second greatest computer in the universe of time and space, have been called into existence?
There's a bit of hubbub of concerned voices saying second greatest?
Your task, oh computer.
No, wait a minute. This isn't right. Deep thought.
Speak, and I will hear.
Are you not as we designed you to be? The greatest, most powerful computer in all creation?
I described myself as the second greatest, which I am.
But this is preposterous. Are you not a greater computer than the Millard Gargantua brain at Megalon?
Yeah.
Maximegalon?
Yeah.
Okay, Max Megalon is my new favorite word. Sorry. At Maximegalon, which can count all the atoms in a star in a millisecond?
The Milliard Gargantua brain, a mere abacus. Mention it not.
And are you not a greater analyst than the Googleplex star thinker in the seventh galaxy of light and ingenuity, which can calculate the trajectory of every single dust particle throughout a 5-week Aldebaran sand blizzard?
A
I mean-
5-week sand blizzard? You ask this of me, who has contemplated the very vectors of the atoms in the Big Bang itself? Molest me not with this pocket calculator stuff.
And are you not a more fiendish disputant than the great hyperbolic omnicognate neutron wrangler, which can...
The great hyperlobic Fuck. Read this a second, Jesus
Why
Christ.
we don't prepare for things, you guys. Study for 10
The great hyperbolic omnicognitant neuron wrangler can talk 4 legs off an Arctuan megadonkey, but I can persuade it to go for a walk afterward.
Then what's the problem?
I speak none but the computer that is to come at sorry. I speak of none but the computer that is to come after me.
Oh, come on. I think this is getting needlessly messianic.
You know nothing of future time, and yet in my teeming circuitry I can navigate the infinite delta streams of future probability and see that there must be one day a computer will come whose merest operational parameters I am not worthy to calculate, but which will be my destiny to eventually design.
Can we get on and ask the question?
Speak.
Oh, deep thought computer, the task we have designed you to perform is this. We want you to tell us the answer.
The answer. The answer to what?
Life?
The universe.
Everything?
Tricky.
But can you do it?
Yes. I can do it.
There is an answer? A simple answer?
Yes. Life, the universe, and everything. There is an answer. But I will have to think about it.
There is a noise of scuffle at the doorway.
What's happening?
We demand admission!
Come on, you can't keep us out.
We demand that you can't keep us out!
Who are you? What do you want? We're busy.
I'm Majekitis.
And I demand that I am Broom Fondle!
It's all right. You don't need to demand that.
All right, I am from Fondle, and that is not a demand. That is a solid fact. What we demand is solid facts.
No, we don't. That is precisely what we don't demand.
We don't demand solid facts. What we demand is a total absence of solid facts. I demand that I may or may not be Vroom Fondle.
Who are you, anyways? We are philosophers.
No, we may not be.
Yes, we are.
Oh, sorry. We are quite definitely here as representatives of the amalgamated union of philosophers, sages, luminaries, and other professional thinking persons. And we want this machine off, and we want it off now.
What is all this?
We demand that you get rid of it.
What's the problem?
I'll tell you what the problem is, mate. Democration. That's the problem.
We demand that demarcation may or may not be the problem.
You just let the machines get on with the adding up and we'll take care of the eternal verities. Thank you very much. My law, the quest for ultimate truth is quite clearly the inalienable prerogative of your working thinkers. Any blood machines goes and actually finds it, and we're straight out of a job, won't we? I mean, what's the use of our sitting up all night saying there may
Or may not be.
or not be a god if this machine comes along next morning and gives you his telephone number?
We demand guaranteed, rigidly defined areas of doubt and uncertainty.
Might I make an observation at this point?
You keep out of this, metal nose.
We demand that that machine not be allowed to think about this problem.
If I might make an observation.
We'll go on strike.
That's right. You'll have a national philosopher's strike on your hands.
Who will that inconvenience?
Never mind who it will inconvenience, you box of black-legged binary bits. It'll hurt, Buster, it'll hurt.
If I might make an observation. All I wanted to say is that my circuits are now irrevocably committed to computing the answer of life, the universe, and everything. But the program will take me 7.5 million years to run.
7.5 million years.
Yes, I said I'd have to think about it, didn't I? And it occurs to me that when I run the program like this, it is bound to cause sensational public interest. So any philosophers who are quick off the mark are going to clean up the prediction business.
Prediction business.
Obviously, you just got me onto the Prindicate circuit. You all go on the chat shows and the color supplements and violently disagree with each other about what answer I am going to eventually produce. And if you get yourselves clever agents, you'll be on the gravy train for life.
Bloody hell. Now that is what I call thinking. There, Rome Fondle. Why don't we never think of things like that?
Ditto. Think our minds might be too highly trained, Magic Thighs. The tape recorder switches off. But I don't understand what all this has got to do with the Earth and mice and things.
All will be clear to you, Earthman. Are you not anxious to hear what the computer has to say after 7.5 million years later?
Oh, well, yes, of course. Quite.
Here is the recording of the events on that fateful day.
Archival material of Magrathea.
There's tape switching as before. We hear crowd cheering and an external band playing.
Oh, people who wait in the shadow of deep thought, honored descendants of Room Fondle and Machaerus,
the greatest and most truly interesting abundance the universe has ever known. The time of waiting is over. Seven and a
We hear
mil-
big cheering.
7.5 million years, our race has waited for this great and wonderful, enlightening day, the day of the answer.
The cheering peaks yet again.
Never again will we wake up in the morning and think, who am I? What is the purpose of life? Does it really, cosmically speaking, matter if I don't get up and go to work? But today we will finally learn, once and for all, the plain and simple answer to all these nagging little problems of life, the universe, and everything. From today, we can enjoy our games of Rocky and Ultra Cricket in the firm and comfortable knowledge that the meaning of life is now well and truly sorted out.
Wild cheering. The cheering suddenly drops into the background as we switch to an internal scene.
Janet.
75,000 generations ago, our ancestors set this program in motion.
An awesome project.
Deep thought prepares to speak.
Good evening.
Good evening. Oh, deep thought, do you have?
An answer for you. Yes, I have. Connor.
There really is one?
There really is one.
To everything? To the great questions of life, the universe, and everything?
Yes.
And are you ready to give it to us?
I am.
Now?
Now.
Wow.
Though, I don't think you're going to like it.
Doesn't matter. We must know it.
Now?
Yes, now.
All right.
Well?
You're really not going to like it.
Tell us.
Life, the universe, and everything
Yes.
Yes?
is.
Yes?
Connor.
Is
Yes?
Yes?
Yes.
42.
We're going to get lynched. You know that.
It was a tough assignment.
42!
I think the problem, such as it was too broadly based. You never actually stated what the question was.
But it was the ultimate question. The question of life, the universe, and everything.
Exactly. Now you know that the answer to the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything is 42. All you need to do now is find out what the ultimate question is.
All right. All right. All right. All right. Can you please tell us the question?
The ultimate question
Yes.
of life, the universe,
And everything?
and everything.
Yes.
Tricky.
But can you do it?
No.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
But I'll tell you who can.
Who? Tell us. Tell us.
I speak of none but the computer that is to come after me. A computer whose merest operational parameters I am not quite worthy to calculate. And yet I will design it for you. A computer which can calculate the question to the ultimate answer. A computer of such infinite and subtle complexity that organic life itself will form part of its operational matrix. And you yourselves shall take on new forms and go down into the computer to navigate its tens of millions years program. Yes, I shall design this computer for you, and I shall name it for you, and it shall be called the Earth.
Ugh, what a dull name.
And the tape turns off.
So there you have it. Deep Thought designed it, we built it, and you lived on it.
And the Velgons came and destroyed it 5 minutes before the program was completed.
Yes, 10 million years of planning and work just gone. Like that. Well, that's bureaucracy for you.
You know, all this explains a lot of things. All through my life, I've had this strange, unaccountable feeling that something was going on in the world, something big, even sinister, and no one would tell me what it was.
Oh no, that's just perfectly normal paranoia. Everyone in the universe has that.
Well, perhaps that means that somewhere outside the universe.
Maybe. Who cares? Perhaps. I'm old and I'm tired, but I always think of the chances of finding out what really is going on are so absurdly remote that the only thing I can do is hang on to the sense of it and just keep yourself occupied. Look at me. I designed coastlines. I got an award for Norway. Where's the sense in that? None that I've been able to make out. I've been doing fjords for my whole life. For a fleeting moment, they become fashionable, and I get a major award. And the replacement Earth we're building, they've given me Africa to do, and of course I'm going to do it all with the fjords again, because I happen to like them, and I'm old-fashioned enough to think that they give a lovely Baroque feel to a continent. And they tell me it's not equatorial enough. Does it matter? Science has achieved some wonderful things, of course, but I'd far rather be happy than right any day.
And are you?
No, but that's where it falls down, of course.
Pity. It sounded like quite a good lifestyle otherwise.
Attention, please.
Oh, sorry.
Attention, please, Slaughterbarfest. Would Slaughterbarfest and the visiting Earth creature please report immediately? Repeat immediately to the works reception area. The mice aren't wanting to hang about in this dimension all day.
Come on, I suppose we've better got to go and see what they want.
I seem to be having this tremendous difficulty with my lifestyle. As soon as I reach some kind of definite policy about what is my kind of music, and my kind of restaurant, and my kind of overdraft, people start blowing up my kind of planet and throwing me out of their kind of spaceships. It's so hard to build up anything coherent. I'm sorry, all this must sound rather fatuous to you.
Chris?
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Yes, I thought so.
Just forget I ever said it.
It is, of course, well known that careless talk costs lives, but the full scale of the problem is not always appreciated. For instance, at the very moment that Arthur Dent said, "I seem to be having this tremendous difficulty with my lifestyle," a freak wormhole opened up in the fabric of the space-time continuum and carried his words far, far back in time, across almost infinite reaches of space, to a distant galaxy where strange and warlike beings were poised on the brink of frightful interstellar battle. The two opposing leaders were meeting for the last time, and a dreadful silence fell across the conference table as the commander of the Volhergs, resplendent in his black jeweled battle shorts, gazed levelly as the Gugugvant leader squatting opposite him in a cloud squatting oppositely gazed levelly at the Gugun.
Oh boy, oh boy.
And a dreadful silence fell across the conference table
as the commander of the Vulhergs, resplendent in his black jeweled battle shorts, gazed levelly at the Gugugvant leader squatting opposite him in a cloud of green, sweet-smelling steam, and with a million sleek and horribly beweaponed star cruisers poised to unleash electric death at his single word of command, challenged the vile creature to take back what it had said about his mother. The creature stirred in his sickly, broiling vapor, and at that very moment the words, "I seem to be having this tremendous difficulty with my lifestyle," drifted across the conference table. Unfortunately, in the Vulherg tongue, this was the most dreadful insult imaginable, and there was nothing for it but to wage terrible war. Eventually, of course, after their galaxy had been decimated, after a few thousand years, it was realized that the whole thing had been a ghastly mistake, and so the two opposing battle fleets settled their few remaining differences in order to launch a joint attack on our galaxy, now positively identified as the source of the offending remark. For thousands more years, the mighty ships tore across the empty wastes of space and finally dived screaming onto the planet Earth, where, due to a terrible miscalculation of scale, the entire battle fleet was accidentally swallowed by a small dog. Those who study the complex interplay of cause and effect in the history of the universe say that this sort of thing is going on all the time, but are powerless to prevent it. It's just life, they say. Meanwhile, Arthur Dent is about to discover the answer to the disturbing question posed in last week's installment. Are his companions, Ford, Zaphod, and Trillian, lying bleeding to death in a subterranean corridor, or have they merely slipped out for a quick meal somewhere?
There is a hum of the door opening, subdued buzzing of the dining room.
Arthur, you're safe!
Am I? Oh, good.
Hi, Arthur. Come and join us.
Ford, Trillian, Zaphod, what happened to you?
Well, our hosts were attacked. Well, our hosts here attacked us with this fantastic dismodulating anti-phase stun ray, and then invited us to this amazingly keen meal, by way of making it up to us.
Hosts? What hosts? I can't see any hosts.
Welcome to lunch, Earth creature.
What? Who said that? Ugh, there's a mouse on the table.
Oh, haven't you found out yet, Arthur?
What? Oh, I see, yes. Yes, I just wasn't quite prepared for the full reality of it.
Arthur, let me introduce you. This is Benji Mouse.
Hi.
And this is Frankie Mouse. Nice to meet you. It seems they control quite a large sector of the universe, not to mention.
But aren't they...
Yes, they are the mice I took with me from Earth. It seems our whole journey's been stage managed from the beginning.
Excuse me.
Yes, thank you, Slartyblast. Slartybetfest. You may go.
Huh, oh well, thank you, sir. I'll just, I'll go on and get on with some of my fjords then. Frankie.
In fact, that won't be necessary. We won't be requiring the new Earth after all. We've had this rather interesting proposition put to us.
What? You can't mean that. I've got 1,000 glaciers poised, ready to roll over to Africa.
Well, perhaps you can take a quick skiing holiday before you dismantle them.
Skiing holiday? Those glaciers are a work of art. Elegantly sculptured contours, soaring pinnacles of ice, deep majestic ravines, and it would be a sacrilege to go skiing on high art.
Thank you, Slaughterbarfest. That will be all.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Well, goodbye, Earthman. Hope the lifestyle comes together.
The door hums open with a grinding sound. Goodbye, then. Sorry about the fjords.
Now, to business.
Huh,
The
to business.
business.
Glasses clink.
I beg your pardon.
I'm sorry. I thought we were proposing a toast.
Now, Earth creature, we have, as you know, been in more or less running your planet for the last 10 million years in order to find this wretched thing called the ultimate question.
Why?
Connor?
Why?
Honor.
I said it.
Oh,
We
sorry, we didn't pick it up.
We didn't hear it, no.
One more time. Why?
No, we already thought of that one, but it doesn't fit the answer. Why? 42. You see, it doesn't work.
No, I mean, why have you been doing it?
Well, eventually just habit, I think, to be brutally honest. And this is more or less the point. We're sick to the teeth of the whole thing, and the prospect of doing it all over again on account of those Winnet-ridden Vogons, quite frankly, gives me the screaming heebie-jeebies, you know what I mean?
We've been offered a quite enormously fat contract to do the 5D TV chat shown and the lecture unit and the lecture circuit, and I'm very much inclined to take it.
I would. Wouldn't you, Ford?
Oh, yes. Jump at it like a shot.
I mean, yes, idealism, the dignity of peer research, yes, the pursuit of truth in all its forms. But there comes a point, I'm afraid, where you begin to suspect that if there's any real truth, that it's the entire multidimensional infinity of the universe is almost certainly being ran by a bunch of maniacs, and if it comes to a choice between spending another 10 million years finding that out and on the other hand just taking the money and running, then I, for one, could do with the exercise.
But that's exactly the attitude those philosophers took. Does no one in this galaxy do anything other than appear on chat shows?
The point is this. We're in a position to give you a very important commission. We still want to find the ultimate question because it gives us a lot of bargaining muscle with the 5D TV companies, so it's worth a lot of money. I mean, quite clearly, if we're sitting there looking very relaxed in the studio, mentioning that we happen to know the answer to life, the universe, and everything, then eventually have to admit that it's 42. I think the show's probably quite short.
Yes, but doesn't that mean you've got to go through your whole 10 million year program again?
We think there might be a shortcut. Your agent...
That's me.
Is it?
Your agent has suggested that both of you and Earth Girl, as last-generation products of the computer matrix, are probably in an ideal position to find the question for us and find it quickly. Go out, find it for us, and we'll make you a reasonably rich man.
We're holding out for extremely rich.
All right, extremely rich. You drive a hard bargain, Beeblebrox.
Some sirens go off.
Emergency. Emergency. Hostile ship has landed on planet. Intruders now within works reception area. Defense stations. Defense stations.
Bells, what is it now?
Safed, are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Oh, police, hell and bats do. We've got to get out.
Police?
Yeah, it's this wretched spacecraft we've stolen. I left them a note explaining how they could make a profit on the insurance claim, but it doesn't seem to have worked.
Come on, then. Let's move.
Chairs and tables are knocked back as they jump to their feet.
Earthmen! Find us the question.
Ow!
No, that doesn't work either.
We'll find it. Come on, let's get out of here.
Thanks for the meals, guys. Sorry, we've got to rush.
They all run out of the room. We hear running feet.
Which way do you reckon, Zaphod?
Had a wild guess. I'd say down there.
Okay, Beeblebrox, hold it right there. We've got you covered.
You want to try and guess it all, Ford?
Okay, this way.
We don't want to shoot you, Beeblebrox.
Suits me fine.
We're cornered.
Oh, hell, I've dropped my adrenaline pills. All right, behind this computer bank, get down!
Extremely vicious sounding zap gun discharges across the stereo image. Alright, it fires. Hey, they're shooting at us.
Yeah.
I thought they said they didn't want to do that.
Yeah, I thought they said that.
Hey, I thought you said you didn't want to shoot us.
It ain't easy being a cop. What did he say?
He said it ain't easy being a cop.
Well, surely that's his problem, isn't it?
I'd have thought so.
Hey, listen, I think we've got enough problems on our own with you shooting at us. So if you could avoid laying your problems on us as well, I think we'd probably find it easier to cope.
Now, see here, buddy, you're not dealing with any dumb, two-bit, trigger-pumping morons with the low hairlines, little piggy eyes, and no conversation. We're a couple of intelligent, caring guys who you'd probably quite like if you met us socially.
That's right. I'm really sensitive.
I don't go around gratuitously shooting people and then bragging about it in seedy Space Rangers bars. I go around gratuitously shooting people and then agonize about it afterwards to my girlfriend.
And I write novels.
Yeah, he writes them in crayon.
I haven't had any of them, though I haven't had any of them published yet. So I'd better warn you, I'm in a mean mood. Who are these guys?
Think I preferred them when they were shooting.
So are you gonna come quietly or are you gonna let us blast you out?
Which would you rather?
There's a fusillade of vicious electric gunfire which carries on for a while.
You're still there.
Yes.
Yeah.
We didn't enjoy doing that at all. We can tell. Zaphod, you any ideas on how we're going to deal with these loonies?
Now listen to this, Beeblebrox, and you'd better listen good.
Why?
Because it's going to be very intelligent and quite interesting and humane.
Okay, fire away. No, I
There's
mean...
another fusillade of shots.
Sorry, misunderstanding there. Nice one, Zaphod.
Beeblebrox, either you all give up yourselves now and let us beat you up a bit, though not very much, of course, because we are firmly opposed to needless violence, or we blow up this entire planet and possibly one or two others we noticed on our way here.
But that's crazy. You wouldn't blow up this entire planet just to get a bloody spaceship back.
Yes, we would. I think we would, wouldn't we?
Oh, yes. We have to. No question.
But why?
Tell her.
Because there are some things you've got to do even if you are an enlightened liberal cop who knows all about sensitivity and everything.
Just don't believe these guys.
Shall we shoot them again for a bit?
Yeah, why not?
There's another fusillade of vicious electric zapping. This dialogue is heard as it continues.
I love how ACAB this is.
Yeah.
We're not going to be safe behind this computer bank for much longer, fellas. It's been really nice knowing you. I just want to say that.
Yeah, it's really been great. And it was really nice bumping into you again, Zaphod.
I wish I hadn't dropped my adrenaline pills.
The computer bank is absorbing a hell of a lot of energy. I think it's about to blow.
There's heavy oscillating hum that builds up with the energy being pumped into it by the continuing gunfire. It's a shame we never managed to get the work done revising the book. I thought it looked rather promising.
Yeah? Book.
The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
Oh, that thing.
Look, I hate to say this, but this thing really is going to blow up.
Okay.
Yet another devastating explosion, but an extremely weird sounding one.
Assuming our heroes survive this latest reversal in their fortunes, will they find somewhere reasonably interesting to go now? Will Arthur Dent or Trillian manage to find the question to the ultimate answer? Who will they meet at the restaurant at the end of the universe? Find out in next week's exciting installment of The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
The ultimate answer to life, the universe, and everything was revealed by kind permission of the amalgamated union of philosophers, sages, luminaries, and other professional thinking persons.
So
Chapter
glad they got
4.
permission to share that.
Truly. Okay. That's it for tonight, I'm gonna say. If you've been watching live, thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed this slightly off-kilter installment of the series. I'm having a lot of fun reading this stuff. Even though I'm currently reading through the 3rd book, I'm really hoping that I'm reading fast enough that we don't catch up to where I am in the books, but we'll see.
I like the audiobook for you.
Yeah. But yeah, if you're watching the VOD or listening to the VOD, thank you so much. If you haven't followed or subscribed, I would love it if you did either of those things. You can't really subscribe unless you're already following, so there you go. If you're watching / listening on YouTube, thanks for watching. You can like, you can comment, you can subscribe, you can ring the bell. If you want to get merch, you can head to streamlabs.com/talllankyguy/merch. We got some cool stuff there. And until next time, we will see you later.
Bye.
Bye.